The downfall of the Patriots continues. It happened on Sunday afternoon. New Orleans, the latest opponent, considered rather feeble, the New Orleans Saints. Many of my friends in Boston who like the Patriots said, well, that's going to be a win. I even thought the Patriots would rebound. I said, oh, they're not going to have back-to-back stinkers. See, if you have back-to-back stinkers, that means there's something fundamentally wrong with your organization. Well, here we are. Yes, here we are. Yeah, man alive. So if you didn't see it, the New Orleans football team served up gumbo, and the Patriots choked on the gumbo, and they turned out to be the po' boys. They're the New England Patriots. So Alvin Kamara, he rushed for a touchdown. He became the Saints' career leader, we are told, in touchdowns. It's not that impressive. There haven't been many great players in New Orleans. Anyway, Derek Carr had a couple of touchdown passes, and the Saints routed the Patsies 34-0. 34-0. If that sounds bad, well, it is. That's the worst home loss ever for the Patriots. They've never been worse than this. They have never sucked more than this. But at least they have that. We'll see. They have that little tower thing now, so they can get a little lookout point. You know, you can look out in the distance and look at the other good teams that aren't the Patriots if you can look far enough out in the distance. All right, so let's discuss the situation here. Needless to say, the better story is in the losing locker room. So the question here, what do you make of Bill Belichick saying that the Patriots need to start all over following the blowout, shutout loss to the New Orleans Saints? So I've got the Mary Celeste, Rotten Bananas, and General Mills. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make ranch dressing, which is a rotting food, and the Patriots are a rotting franchise. That's the devil's blood. The Patriots at this point are drinking. They're drinking the devil's blood. So we'll start with this. Bill Belichick. I saw the. I'm a big body language guy because why not? And so I looked at Bill Belichick, and he looked like a stunned bird. You ever seen a stunned bird? People look at a stunned bird, they think the bird's dead. They think the bird's dead, right? That it's got that shallow breathing. The limp body. It's got the feathers are kind of going sideways. You're like, I think that bird's dead. No, it's not dead. It's just stunned. It's a stunned bird. And that's pretty much Bill Belichick. The absolute mess. He always looks disheveled, but for a very methodical way, Bill Belichick has put together this roster, and it's a white-hot tire fire right now. That's the New England Patriots. And all those idiots in the Boston media that said Matt Patricia, they were fat-shaming Matt Patricia, that he didn't know what he was doing. Side by side, if you look at what Mac Jones did last year with Matt Patricia and what he's done this year with a proven head coach and offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, Billy O. Matt Patricia should get a head coaching job again, considering what the Patriots did last year on offense with Mac Jones compared to how they look right in this moment. My God. You can see fungus growing on the side of the uniforms for the Patriots there. They've got this maggoty quarterback, right, covered in maggots. They've got a mildewy defense that doesn't really stop many people because their top players are out. Mac Jones, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. And now he's been benched in back-to-back games. Now, Bill Belichick, we actually have some audio on this. Bill Belichick here commenting on the benching of Mac Jones and what it means going forward. Take a listen.
Bill, what went into the decision to sit down Mac there in the later stages of the game?
At the end of the third quarter. So.
Is he still your quarterback going forward?
Yeah, there was a lot of problems. It certainly wasn't all him. I don't know. We'll see.
I disagree. I got to tell you.
I don't really care about that.
I respectfully disagree. That's a bad take by Belichick. He's part of the problem. He is absolutely part of the problem. Because what happens? It's like any business you work. You're working a business. You look over to one side, somebody's futzing on their phone, not doing their job. You get a little upset, right? You get a little angry, things like that. It affects morale, is what happens, right? It affects morale in a negative way, right? So, if you're the defense and you're busting your ass, and what's the point? Because numbnuts at quarterback's just going to turn the ball over and we're screwed. So, okay, eventually you're not supposed to get worn down, but it wears you down. And I wouldn't put it past the Patriots. Do you think Robert Kraft's going to have a conversation with Belichick this week and Now, Kraft seems like he was a Mac Jones guy, but how could you be a Mac Jones guy at this point? New England as a football team is the Mary Celeste. It's a ghost ship is what it is, right? So it's just a ghost ship. They're adrift in a sea of misery right now. And Belichick knows, he talks about starting over. You can't start over. You know that. I know that. Every man, woman, and child knows that. And certainly Bill Belichick knows you can't start over in week 6 of the NFL season. That's fugazi is what that is, okay? It's ridiculous. You build your roster from March until like August, early August. You build your roster. And what you got is what you got. And that is it, right? And if your roster blows, your roster blows. But you're the one that put it together, Bill. You're the one that went out there and went shopping, and you went to every discount dollar store you could get. And good luck. You put the team together. Now, furthermore, let's zero in on Mac Jones. Good old Mac. The Mac attack, Mac the hack, Mac Jones. So the NFL on Fox, they reported from a source close to the Patriots. Quarterback, not for the Patriots, from the quarterback, Mac Jones. So they reported that he is very unhappy with his lack of weapons on offense. This has been bouncing around, and the quote was, "No matter how good of a cook you are, you cannot make garbage taste good." Now, I got to tell you, I've been to some fast food restaurants where I'm pretty sure I ate garbage. It tasted pretty good. If you put enough salt and pepper and sugar and the right mix, you can make garbage taste pretty good. So I would push back on that quote. But all kidding aside, right?
You are garbage.
Yeah. Give me your school of thought on Mac Jones and that mindset, if indeed that quote is accurate, if that did come from the inner circle of Mac Jones. Give me your school of thought. So this should set off alarm bells. Woo, woo, woo. By the way, that's what alarm bells sound like. Woo, woo, woo. We have a big budget on the show, and that's what alarm bells sound like. Woo, woo, woo. Just like that. Yeah. Mac Jones, I don't want to overreact here, and I have no skin in the game. I'm not a Patriots guy. Does this mean more people will watch the TV show or less if the Patriots suck in Boston? I don't know. Anyway, listen. Mac Jones is a fraud. Mac Jones is a fraud with a capital F. But you already knew that. You don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me to blow hard on the radio to tell you that. Just a functioning brain, mind, ears. Our friend Inca Terror can even see how ridiculous this is, okay? How bad this is. Mac Jones is a generic brand quarterback. And it's kind of like that old line, if you have a weak carpenter blames the tools, right? Whatever tools you have, you make it work, right? You go out, you make it work. It's a terrible mindset, and it really goes back to the scouting report when Mac Jones was going into the season at Alabama. I remember when he was going in there to start at Alabama. The scouting report on Mac Jones prior to the season he started at Alabama was, maybe he'll be drafted in the 6th or the 7th round, something along those lines, and he might be drafted, but he's also a possibility to not be drafted. So he goes out there, he plays with all these amazing players in Tuscaloosa. He gets drafted in the 1st round, okay? But he went from being like a projected 6th or 7th round pick, ends up being drafted in the 1st round. We've seen a lot of this. We saw Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma was projected as a mid-round draft pick. He was the number 1 overall pick. And you know what? He's played like a mid-round draft pick in the NFL. He's been mostly a mid-round draft pick. But the mindset, I go back to the mindset of Mac Jones, right? And spoiled punk from Alabama who was surrounded by a bunch of just absolute thoroughbreds in Tuscaloosa. And now he's surrounded by a bunch of Clydesdales with the Patriots. He's trying to throw the ball to Clydesdales and have them get yakety yak, and it's not quite working out. And so Jones has been exposed, and he doesn't like it. He's not comfortable with it, so he wants to blame other people. I get it. That's human nature. Certainly now you don't take accountability, don't take responsibility. You blame other people, and it's kind of like the old thing. Listen, what you would want to have in a perfect world, we know we don't live in a perfect world every day. We're reminded of that. But if you get a bunch of rotting bananas, right? Like you go to the store, you buy some bananas, you leave them out on the counter, and they start turning black, and they start rotten banana. So what you do is you make banana bread, and it's a great little hack. And so that's what you're supposed to do. What Mac Jones does is he gets the bananas, they turn rotten, and he complains about it and sulks about it and throws them away and says, I can't do anything with this. I'm done. These are terrible bananas. Rather than attempt to make banana bread. Just cover it in sugar. It's just not how he's wired.
He's a stumble bum.
That's right. Ghost of Ben Maller. Damn right. Yeah. All right, parting shot. To Minnesota we go. Why are we going to Minnesota? Because there's something that we need to address that we did not address in the earlier portion of this show. So the Chiefs get another controversial victory, and the deep state, the NFL deep state, the conspiracy theorists in the NFL are going gaga. Not Lady Gaga, they're going gaga. They're sniffing around, and they smell crap. And they're saying, what's going on here? Now, back-to-back games, Kansas City has been on the right side of the officials. I'm talking about L'Jarius Sneed, defensive back for the Chiefs, who was covering Vikings receiver Jordan Addison on a 4th down and 12 play, about 5.5 or so minutes ago. Kirk Cousins throws up a prayer right to the back of the end zone, and there's yellow laundry. There's a penalty flag that's thrown on the field. Okay, here we go. There was a lot of contact, Sneed and Addison, in the end zone during the play, and they did draw a penalty flag. Okay, we got something. Now we're on to something. And everyone assumed watching, okay, Sneed, pass interference, 1st down and goal to go from the 1-yard line for Minnesota, down by a touchdown. They tie the game. We got something. But then the officials had a powwow, and they said, wait a minute. You know what? I'd like that yellow hanky back. I would like my yellow hanky. And so they took the yellow hanky back. And they said no, they decided there was no penalty on the play. Now, Viking coach Kevin O'Connell did not agree. He said, when the flag came out in the first place, I was not surprised in that moment, that was called a flag. I'm trying to figure out where and when they veered the other way. Then he said, you want to be careful. But it took a goal-to-goal opportunity away from the Minnesota Vikings. And it certainly smelled like something was up here. Now, does Viking coach Kevin O'Connell have a legitimate beef with the officials? And is there something to the NFL conspiracy theorists that think since the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, started canoodling with Taylor Swift, that the Chiefs have been getting Tom Brady level officiating here? So I'm going to answer that second part first. This is absolutely fuel to the fire. This is kerosene on top of the fire for the conspiracy theorists, because if you look last week at what happened in the Jets game, where the official waited to make sure the pass wasn't complete before he threw the flag, and only after the pass was intercepted, rather, they threw the flag against Sauce Gardner. So that was not kosher. And now you go this week, and you're like, okay, we get 2 weeks in a row. They actually called the penalty and then said, well, wait a minute, on second thought. So what I've determined is Andy Reid and Travis Kelce are General Mills players. Mr. Pfizer and Big Andy, Big Red, are General Mills players. They ate their Lucky Charms, right? Because this is now 2 weeks in a row things are working out for them.